Hello everyone and welcome to the next in our series of daily origami for YouTube. Today we're going to continue with our theme of looking at some traditional origami, and today we're going to make a special kind of connected double crane. This is a really kind of fun project. You do need kind of a big piece of paper if you're doing this for the first time. You want a piece of paper that's a perfect rectangle, so basically 2 squares long, and I'm going to be using this paper here just because if it's a little bigger, it's a little easier to show you guys. Let me see how big it is. I can't remember my dimensions. This guy here is 35 by 17.5. So, but you can certainly use like printer paper as long as you get it down to the dimensions of 2:1, then you'll be okay. So again, my paper is 35 centimeters by 17.5 centimeters. And I wish I could do this with red, but I already used my big red paper, so I'm going to be doing it in blue. Hopefully you guys can still see everything. What we want to do is we're going to start off now to do this particular origami, and this is a traditional, really old, ancient origami. You do need scissors to be able to kind of create a little bit of separation for everything. The easiest way to do that is we need to first just fold everything in half here and get a good crease going. Open it up. And I also want to just get a little mark here for where the middle is of this. And so you could just really just kind of line everything up for a second and just pinch right there in the middle. We just need to cut from down here right up to the middle point. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut there first. So I've got that part kind of cut off there now so that we can see where everything is. And I'm just going to take it and fold everything in half first. Then I'm going to take everything here and fold it all into a big triangle by taking both of these layers and bringing them all the way down here to this bottom corner. Smooth everything out so that you get it as even as you can. Then we want to make it look like this so that we have a nice big triangle shape. And I'm going to take everything now and fold it in half this way. Bringing those tips together. There's a lot of paper here, so take time to get a good crease. Now we're going to use these areas to create basically like a square base by opening up these pockets, pushing down. And you should have 2 layers of paper with you. Up here it's still connected. You push down on that. Flip it over. Go ahead and make sure that this center crease is really clear by pushing over to the other side too. Get a good crease right in the middle there. And then take and make sure you open up to the color side here inside, not one of those white layers. And then push down. So we have something like this. Now I'm going to do the basic steps you might be familiar with, of course, for making a crane. I'm going to take the outer edge, fold it into the center, and do the same thing with this side. And we're doing a petal fold here with this. So I'm just getting both of these folded over. And then we're going to take those first 2 layers and push it up so that we can create a crease that hits right where both of those sides hit on the side. We're just going to expand all of this out. Smooth it out as good as you can there. Do the same thing on this one too. Just kind of extend it out a little bit. Then go ahead and flip it over and repeat those steps on this side too. try to get everything as smoothed out as you can. You should get something that looks like this. So you've got all of this creases kind of finished off here. Now what we want to do is I want to remove this layer that's inside here. And you want to kind of keep everything sort of folded together as much as you can. I'm just going to kind of try to get this part to come out. And just gently pull on it, loosen it out from everything. And again, try hard not to kind of really unfold anything if you can help it. There should be one side that's connected. The other three is not. So you can see here, I've got this part right here that's connected. So we're just going to kind of pull that out so that I've got these two parts here that when you collapse everything, gives you one blue area and one white area. Pretty crazy. So we've got the blue and the white here now, and with those all smooshed together now, I want to go ahead and flip it around so that the blue side is on top. And I'm going to take and do the last steps that we do for making a crane by folding in each of these sides to the center. To this side too. And then also I want to do the same kind of thing on the flip side. I'm going to just turn it over and do the same thing over here. So I've got both of those sides completed. Then I want to also fold these flaps on either side behind. And there's a couple ways you can do it. You can just kind of hold it like this and sort of fold and match up the edge. Or you can kind of fold everything over and fold towards the center. Kind of just depends on what you prefer to do. Just get that kind of folded in. I'll do this side. And just make sure there's not too much strain anywhere and everything kind of gets a chance to sort of lay flat as you work. That all to lay out kind of. And then we're going to do the same thing on the white side too. And you might just want to kind of work with it a little gently. Don't really try to force everything all completely around. We just want to get that part folded behind. That should give you the more narrow version of what we're used to seeing for making these little cranes. So if we look over here on the blue side, then what we want to do is go ahead and do a reverse fold to bring up each of these sides so that we can make the head and the tail area of our bird. So you kind of just get that going here. We want to try to line up with the edge, right, that we see. This is a more kind of traditional sort of design with everything being kind of geometric in its design. So we get that part folded up good. And then do the side too. So you're just basically popping everything here up and reversing that crease in the middle there. And it could be a little tricky because this paper, there's a lot of layers here, more than double what you're used to. So you do want to just take a second to try to get as good of a crease there as you can. Then I'm going to go ahead and flip it over and do the same thing with the white side. So we've got both of those brought up now on either side. And if you look from the blue side here, we want to go ahead and take the left side and make the head. So I'll go ahead and kind of just choose a point there to reverse a little bit of this out to make the head. And then you want to kind of mimic where that location is for the white one. So we can get 2 matching heads here for everything. And that should kind of give you the finished little design. Now you go ahead and open it up, and you can tell you've got a nice connection, a shared wing there in the middle, and the double kind of crane connection there in the end. And that's sort of the finished deal. Now, traditionally, it's kind of a norm to do this in red and white. They're very celebratory kinds of colors, and typically you want to make a point of making sure that the red side, in this case the blue, is on the right and the white is on the left. And if you want to, you can fold out the wings, kind of just straight out if you like. Oops, this guy just keeps falling out of my hands. That can kind of give you the completed thing for, you can use this as like a decoration. You probably want to kind of anchor it somewhere because it doesn't really stand, but it can make a really pretty table decoration to add to things if you wanted to. So that's sort of the finished little bird. I'll tell you guys how big things are here. You know, the base is about 4.5 centimeters wide, and then height-wise it's about 9 centimeters tall. Oops. And that kind of gives you the completed dimensions for our double crane, which is our finished project for today. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.